Hi, this is Jamie again, and another video for the BRJ, the Business Review Journal. Today, what we're going to cover is how to review past coachings, how to look at some of the things that you've already entered, and even how to edit some of the things that you've already entered. So again, I'm at the start page, so where do we go from here? We're going to go over here into the left-hand column, Coaching, under Lists. So coaching, if I click coaching, what I will see is a big nice list by supervisor of all the monitors that have been done. If I select any of these, I will be able to see the details underneath them. But let's just wait just a second and kind of review real quick. What you can see here is you can see the supervisor's name and how many are underneath there. And that's consistent on down through. You can also see here we have somebody who maybe didn't enter it correctly, and we'll have to go back and edit that. But if you're entering correctly, you should see this list increment. So for purposes of this demonstration, I'm gonna take on the persona of Jeree. So we're gonna look at Jeree's coachings. So Jeree has 14 underneath here. So if I click right here, I can see all of the individual coachings that she has created. So we can see the person that she monitored, some of the detail, the method, how many calls, and if an email was sent. Okay, so very, very nice, very, very quick way to see these. If I click on, well, let's just pick one. Let's pick this one. If I click View, I get to see it in a little bit of a different format, but same information. So it's all kind of on one page now. So I can see that Jeree monitored Vacation Guide Leanne, talked about connection and communication, and the comments trending. There's a great tone, polite, professional, efficient call flow, navigation, maybe transactional conversations. The behaviors, you can ask general questions about the owner's vacation to create a conversation. This will help you make a recommendation, education, and future. So great stuff that she's talked about. One-on-one was the method in which was utilized, and Peter Packard is the manager. Now, if I wanted to, I could edit this information. If I click Edit, I could get in here and edit some more. And so should be very familiar to you because it's the same exact format as whenever it was created. One of the big things that I was asked, I think, and again, this is another pro tip for you. I was asked once by a supervisor, hey, part of our action plan was I was going to listen to a few more calls. So what should I do? That shouldn't be a one-on-one, that shouldn't be a whatever. It's okay if you want to amend it to this one. If you want to say, okay, well, um, I came back and I listened to more phone calls and increment the number of phone calls. So you can edit any number of things on this. You'll want to keep it true to the intent of the original one because that's what you share with your person. But the edit feature is there in case you want to go back and fix anything or add to that. In this case, I do not, so I'm going to cancel out. Okay, so that's one way of viewing. I can look just right through there. If you'll notice this little trail up here, a cookie trail, if you will, crumb trail, however they call it. It says supervisor, but you'll notice that it looks a little different when I hover over it. If I click that, I can change the view. I can change the view to look at just, let's go by vacation guide. This comes in very handy if you have someone who's changed supervisors. I can go back and I can look at somebody and I can see what their supervisor their previous supervisor has documented for them. On the bottom, you'll see that this is showing records 1 through 30. It has an arrow, so that means, oh, I got down to the end of the list, and Carla Bermudez is not my last one, so I can click forward. So there are several pages in there that I can go through. Another thing to think about when you're on this view is you can filter, very similar to how you would filter in Excel. So if I wanted to see just one particular person, I could do that. And now I see just that person, right? I can sort it just like Excel. I can look for a particular supervisor. I can look for a particular coaching date. Whatever I want to look for, I can. So very nice way to get to specific details. I'm going to go back up here and I'm going to change it from the view of vacation guide. I'm going to change that now. We're going to look at year and month. This is very helpful to us. So as you can see here, we have the different months of the year that have went on so far. And then you can see October was a big month for us because that's when we very first started utilizing this tool. All the previous ones were some of the test and pilot folks that were helping me out. So here you can see year and month. So in the month of October, we input 831 different coaching sessions. If I drill down into there, it takes me down to the supervisor level. And I can see that this is how many were done, for instance, by Back Jeree in the month of October. Okay? Go back up to the trail up here, and we have some other views that we'll look at today. I can look at it by manager. Manager defaults to this type of view as well. So we see the year and the month. But as I drill down into there, I can see it in a little bit more detail by grouping at the manager level. So at the manager level, we can see that Peter Packard had 78, Jenny Harrell had 121. So you can see all of those types of things. And what's neat is you can also see there's 121 coachings and 501 calls were reviewed. And now I can drill down into the exact calls and look at them individually if I'd like to. So again, a lot of scrolling there I just did. Hopefully you're still with me. But the views that you're able to access are right underneath this trail. And there's one other item that we haven't looked at yet, which is all items. All items, simply, this is a great way to just look at anything that you'd like to see. And again, on this view, it may be best to utilize some of the filtering and sorting options that you have available to you just by hovering over the column headers and making some selections. All right, so just to review quickly, how did I get there? I'm back where I started at the very beginning, and by the way, I got there by just simply by clicking on the coaching target. I got there by going over on the left-hand side and clicking on coaching. Coaching defaults me to the supervisor view, which I can look at and I can see individual coaching items. However, I can also, by looking at this little trail up here, I can change that to be any number of the views that we looked at previously. So hopefully this has been helpful for you. You should now know how to locate previous coachings, how to be very specific on the coachings that you want to see, and you now know how to look at various views of the coaching so you can quickly understand what you want from the time period you want and from the people that you want. Thank you and have a good day.